That's the conversation this morning. I don't know if you heard this. AJ Hawk, Tannenbaum, who works on ESPN, he's on Get Up. I don't think he's ever on First Take. He's on Get Up and probably on Jay, Keyshawn.
Max. Yeah. He might be on Max.
Zubin.
Max and
Zubin, unfortunately.
Zubin's no longer on the show.
Yeah.
What's
Zubin's
that?
dominating.
Is that this just in? That's Max's show?
This
I
just
think
in
he's
the
on there a lot
afternoon.
too, yeah.
I think he's on the same time. So Tannenbaum all over ESPN, former general manager for the Miami Dolphins and the Jets, I believe.
Yeah.
This morning, he started a conversation that I did not even know was existing. I guess it was happening probably somewhere. He's like, if you're the Bears, trade Justin Fields. Trade Justin Fields. Get him the hell out of this. Is what I would do, he said. Trade Justin Fields. Give me a first and a third back. I get Bryce Young, obviously, as my quarterback. I can get more starters on the team, and he's cheaper because he's a new quarterback. It's like Justin Fields still in his rookie contract. Still in his rookie contract. Justin Fields is the only thing that was good for the Bears this year, right? He almost broke a fucking record against that. Yeah. Are you just going to move on from that? If you're the Chicago Bears, and Darius Butler is putting it on the ticker on this show, he goes, Justin Fields is going to be the greatest quarterback in Chicago Bear history with his first year. That's what Darius Butler said, 2 weeks ago?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago. With his first year with the head coach, first year in the system, he looks much different than he looked a year before. And obviously that's going to be how it goes whenever you're a rookie in a bad situation. But like Tannenbaum, very straight face, says trade him, get Bryce Young, and get more pieces. To your point, he was a GM. Is there people thinking like that? Is he the only human that's thinking like that, do you think, Darius?
People are very, very split. You're either on one end of the spectrum or the other with Justin Fields. Either you think he's going to be just a runner the whole time, he'll never develop as a quarterback, or you're like, okay, this is a lot of potential here, a lot of money, didn't have a great surrounding offense. And when that tweet or whatever, when it came out and it kind of grew when I said on the show, got a lot of DMs from a lot of people on the network. Oh, nah, hell no. Fuck no, absolutely not. He'll be out. So Tannenbaum saying that doesn't shock me because a lot of people kind of behind the scenes are really split on it. And then with Bryce Young, a lot of people feel like Bryce Young, even with his stature and all these different things, like, hey, this kid has some special trick. People compare him to A-Rod and all these other great quarterbacks.
Steph Curry.
Yeah. When you start saying the Steph Curry of a position, like that's a hell of a compliment.
AJ, what are your thoughts on this?
It's crazy though.
I mean, I think it's somewhat crazy to think up, but I mean that's what GMs and stuff, that's what they do at this time. I don't know if anyone's seriously thinking about that, but his biggest thing, wasn't it, that, you get the picks back. He thinks Bryce Young is going to be a great franchise quarterback, but he's saying you get like 2 extra years on a rookie contract, basically, instead of like, you got to pay Justin in another year or two, you buy yourself a couple of years.
Man, that would
be... Which is crazy to move on. From the one positive piece of your team, it's kind of crazy to think of moving on from it.
But I guess, like Tannenbaum's been a GM, so all these conversations happen and take place. And how can we make our team?
Can you get a first and third? Can you get a first and third for him?
For Justin, he said that there's enough teams that need a quarterback right now, and with what Justin Fields was able to accomplish last year, there's probably somebody that'll take a shot and say, "Yeah, fuck it, we need a quarterback. Let's get a guy."
Colts would you trade the number 4 overall pick for Fields?
So this is what Chris Ballard said yesterday. Mm-hmm. He said if there was a quarterback he'd like, he would move mountains or something to go get it done or whatever. Oh, Asked if there's a QB at the top of the draft they want, would he give up heaven and earth, there it is, to trade up and get him? Ballard said, yes, I'd do whatever it takes. Are you saying maybe that's Justin Fields?
I mean, I feel like the Colts would definitely take him and Taylor together. And for the Bears, is the only thought because Poles and it's not their guy. It's not Eberflus.
Are we legitimizing this take?
I'm not legitimizing it.
Are we just by talking? But there's no way they can do that.
Poles already said that he will not trade him away. So that's
it makes no sense.
Well, didn't he say something like it would take a whole hell of a lot?
Their team.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that.
You might not love him as a passer, but he almost just set the NFL record for rushing yards by a quarterback. And say whatever you want about that part of it, but again, I don't know. It's just me personally. Bryce Young, and you look at what Tua is doing. He's small, and that doesn't mean that he's not going to be able to play.
Not compared to humans.
No, right. As an NFL quarterback, Justin Fields is a massive, great athlete. You don't necessarily
mutant.
Tua gets a fucking concussion every 3 weeks, and they have a very similar build.
T's and P's,
of course. Chicago's O-line isn't very good. That's what happens with these teams at the top of the draft. You draft a quarterback, and the guy gets the shit beat out of him for 2 to 3 years. And is he going to be able to withstand that? Who knows?
You're going to be taking big shots in the NFL at quarterback. That's why from the younger age to the older age, they have flap jackets on as they get older. You just have this full fucking body suit on of metal and plastic because there's a chance you're going to be standing just like this and you're going to feel good. You're going to be nice and loose. But bang, there is going to be a 15-mile-an-hour car crash that is going to take place right on your spine. And then your face is going to bounce off the ground. Don't drop the ball, you fucking piece of shit. Don't even think about it. So you cuff that ball, and when you do that, probably going to lose all the air in your body.
Right, break a
Because you're
couple
going
ribs.
to land on top of it. And then what you need to do, you give that ball back to the ref, you stand the fuck up, you get right back in that huddle, and you act like nothing happened. That is a trait that NFL quarterbacks have. It is absurd. They obviously get treated very special all the time. Whatever the fuck you need, you got. But there are moments in a game where they're going to get hit and take shots that nobody else is going to have to take, and it's going to be heavy, and they're going to have to get right back up. And if they show any sign of weakness at all, bitch made cat, get this guy the fuck out of here. Like that is something that, so whenever somebody's 5'11", they're saying, 5'11", 2 inches shorter than me, cowboy boots, 4 inches shorter than me, okay? Those cowboy boots are unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I become a fucking giant.
Oh yeah.
6'6".
I'm looking down at AJ like this. And then they're saying he's not going to run like an incredibly fast 40, so he's not going to run at all probably. Let's hope he's quick like Purdy is. But there's a chance that he gets some heavy, heavy shots. And you think about what Jalen Hurts was able to do from last year to this year. And I don't want to just say, you know what, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, same people. But if you look at the ass, you look at the legs, you look at how they operate, you look at the game plans that are probably going to be very similar going forward on how they play. Jalen Hurts became an MVP candidate this year. People were talking about him maybe not being in the NFL anymore. What will Justin Fields do with another year in the NFL and another offseason? It's like, just to give up on that because maybe this guy who is an anomaly, I get it, and he might be. He might be. But Justin Fields might be as well, and you're just going to give up on that? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. So whenever it was said by a guy who's a former GM, I'm like, is this how they have to think in this part? Or why are we even thinking like that? I don't even know why that would even – but Justin Fields might become a bust, I guess, and Bryce Young will be great, and this is draft season, so you got to do the whole fucking song and dance. I just don't make no sense to me. I don't know.
And I'm sure, like, I don't know how Zeke feels or Chicago fan feels, but, like, I mean, there are, it's like him and Lamar Jackson who can run with the football as a quarterback, like, and they're not the same, but, like, no one can provide explosive plays in the running game in terms of, like, this upcoming draft like he can. Probably won't be another guy for a while. And, again, you go back to the, like, not only – I personally don't really trust. I mean, the Alabama thing. Like, guess what? The Bears aren't going to have the guys at skill positions that Bryce Young had every single year at Alabama, where it's like guys are wide open. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like Alabama is unbelievable, but you're going from arguably the best college football team. They weren't this year, in Georgia or whatever.
Well, Pollock said.
Yeah, exactly. They own college football, but he's going from that to the fucking worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like. And if you're 5'11", and you run
just got very offended.
Well, they are. They have the first pick. They're the worst team in the NFL. That's just the way it is. I mean,
It's
a fact.
choice.
Oh, you guys chose to do that? Justin Fields said, I'm going to break the rushing record, and then we're going to lose a certain amount of
We're going
games.
to put an O-line out there that can only block like every 10% play.
So, like the Colts, for instance, we have number 4 overall pick. If we were to trade for Justin Fields, we give them, they'd have 1, 4, 1 and 4.
Yeah,
You
probably
get-
take a
you
second.
You get Bryce Young and maybe, I mean, you could, what the Bears could do with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
4 is real high, though. I don't think we would give up 4. What's that, AJ?
Well, I was just thinking, like, I think Tannenbaum did his job. We've been going on this thing for 10 minutes now. I would imagine other shows might be, speculating as well. So, I mean, I guess that's what you're paid to do, is come up with these things, and we're trying to make it a reality. Like, hey, how could this work? How would it work for all these teams?
Yeah, and I literally, I'm 90 seconds removed from saying, this is so dumb, it makes no sense. And then I thought about being in Pole's position up there. And it's like, if the Colts come with the number 4 overall pick for Justin Fields and a 3rd or 2nd or whatever it is, and you have the number 1 pick, the number 4 pick, multiple seconds and multiple thirds, it's like, with a brand new head coach and brand new GM, pretty much. I mean,
Rookie quarterback contract.
that would be.
Start over.
I guess. Hey, Tannenbaum, not a bad,
Draft a,
not a bad Tannenbaum. I like it.
draft
Or-
a tackle.
I mean,
or-
I don't know if the Colts at 4 are going to go though. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Pat, to that point, vice versa, if you believe in Justin Fields and you know other teams are going to covet Bryce Young, you keep Fields, you trade that number 1 pick, you move down a few spots and give yourself some more
Go to
picks
like
to get
8
Fields,
to 10 or-
get Fields some weapons and some O-line.
Yeah, well, they have to trade back because they
yeah,
gave
they're
their
out-
second
yeah.
pick to Pittsburgh, and they have so many holes to fill. So no matter what, they need more picks
lot of
right
money,
now
too.
to